hang on, baby. People are coy. Couldn't find the word. People know what they're doing, and that's one of the like, once you can get away from the emotion, it's sort of funny, or it's sort of like, oh, they're still trying to get one over on me, or like you kind of see things as more like this, like you're working at like a business almost, or people are trying to see where they can get in, like get some sort of control, or like sway you a little bit. Walking around. But if you're empathic and you're that person in your family, it's wild, because you'll just get, they'll just it's like they still just want to gaslight you. Like you're everything that you've been through. Cause it's like, there's been a couple conversations recently. I had one with my sister, but that was just over text. And then I had one with my dad. And I've only had probably in the past year and a half, like, shoot, I don't know, like a few short conversations, and like months and months in between. And my mom, I've only had the encounters that and we were like, those were like face to face, which I prefer to have that kind of conflict with that kind of confrontation with her, because I need to read her body language. Because she's good over the phone. That's her job. Her whole job is working people over the phone. So she's real good at it. But that's what's so crazy, because it's like I have a family of avoidance. Like, of course, it's still toxic. It's not cool, but it's like, they live their lives. It's like when they get together, it's all business. Like they're always talking about work, and they're always talking, and like other stuff too, but it's like always sarcasm. There's every ounce of emotion is like out of it. It's like, there's no depth. And, like this whole situation that I've been through, it's like nothing is acknowledged. Like no one's like, hey, are you guys okay? Like I thanked my dad for checking on us. I was like, thank you for checking on me. Like those are like, it's literally like you are the person that you're expected to be the emotionally mature one, but at the same time, you have to keep standing your ground and not letting them get one over on you. Like my dad, and once you come back, once you heal yourself and work through it and you come back to your sovereignty, that's like the win for you, because it's like, then you are able, you're not so easily duped. And it still sucks. It still is like completely effed up, but it's like, then you can see how it's just a game with other people. And it's like, you can kind of like reserve yourself for those people that you feel safe enough with to like allow yourself to be vulnerable, or to let them in. And like my dad said, he gave my mom money for like something, and I'm like, well, we'll see what, and I said to him, I was like, we'll see what happens. I wonder what's gonna happen this time. And he was like, let me know if it's, so it's like to them, it's like just not a big deal to like screw people over and be evil and all this. Like that's what I mean. It's hard, it's easy to forget that it's like that stuff is normalized. Like people get together and gossip, and it's like, I'm living this whole other way. And it's like, nobody acknowledges that. Nobody, and all of this year of doing, and my mom putting down the fact that I'm doing tarot and I'm trying to do something on my own, and like completely like take the power back and start over. And like, and I have nobody support. You have nobody giving you a pat on the back. So it's like, because my dad even was like, he always says like, you're so much like me and stuff. And I'm like, no, like I do relate to him a lot, but it's like, you have to just stand in your power, because it's like, and like, he's trying to get me to come over at Christmas, when my dad's like the most avoidant one in the bunch. And I'm like, I'm going to have to we have to do something about our living situation. And it's just, it's sad how much people try to normalize toxicity, but it's like, it's just the way it is. And so, being able to stand in your power and just speak what you have to say, but not just agree, not just be like, oh, okay, yeah, everything's fine. Like, no, I'm not going to pretend like it's fine. Like, no one has been there for us, and no one has checked up on us, and like, my mom has access to our account and has had just known the fact that we've had like no money all this time and have barely survived. And I know in those words it sounds dramatic, but that's not even being dramatic, because I've almost lost my mind like several times. Like, so it's like, there's just that bit of like, you realize that you're expected to be the emotionally mature one when you do that. But that also means that you have to keep like putting your foot down essentially, and being like, no, when people still try to gaslight you or pull you into something that you don't want to be a part of, and I don't know what's going to happen or what exactly I'm going to do. But, it's just wild, because you think that it's going to change. You think that things are going to change. And I think it may be at some point that you get like more respect or something like that. But it's like, when I saw my mom last year at Thanksgiving, which was a year ago now, but it was like, my mom was making fun of like me. She was like, Jesse used to say the prayer, and she was like doing it in like a mocking way. And it was like, that's how it is. It's like, they can't see you a different kind of way. They can't respect, like my dad, like that with my dad. I'm like, I've literally had nobody, but my dad is very similar in that way. Like, he does kind of just stay to himself, but yeah, it didn't acknowledge the fact that like, my mom has just completely neglected us, and no one's checked up on us, and that's just normal behavior. Like, things are going to work out the way they're meant to, but it helps you to be the neutral ground in the situation. And then it's like, whatever happens, because that was the takeaway for me, is it was like, I stood in that situation about like my dad saying that to my mom, and I was like, part of me wanted to be like, why didn't you just bring me the gift or whatever? But then it was like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not responsible for how other people act or what they do, and we'll see what happens, because I'm not responsible for anybody else. Like, that's what you start to realize. And then you're like so grateful that you're like, I have the strength to be able to stand here, because they're still my family. Like, I realize that too, that I'm like, I'm probably not just going to be able to like, it's not going to be just this quick fix to get us out of here. I'm going to have to deal with my family more. Like, we're going to have to work this out. So, but that healing and that coming back to yourself and being able to just validate yourself through the whole experience, like, gives you that like, no, you guys are not going to get one over on me anymore. Like, that's not okay. That was never okay. And you are the one who's like raising the bar and saying like, no, I don't accept that kind of behavior. But at the same time, it's like, you don't have to bow down to it either. Because you're just like, okay, I'll just walk away, Okay, I'm gonna stop there.